checks at all officially sponsored events, some random and some 100% checks. However, the general campus remained open, and we did not, nor could we, have planned for security at an event that was not approved in advance or officially sanctioned by the university. The event in which the shooting took place was not approved in advance, and in no way was it sanctioned by the university. Nonetheless, it happened on our campus, and we take full responsibility for allowing a thorough investigation and implementing corrective actions.
Rest in peace to 18-year-old Latavion Johnson. For those of you who don't know, it was Tuskegee's homecoming over the weekend, and unfortunately, things turned deadly at around 1:30 a.m. Quick sidebar, I've been saying over and over again that these homecomings are going to have to start to shut down around a certain time. I've said it previously as well that Bowie State this year shut hours down at 7 o'clock. I'd say, 9 o'clock sounds like a more reasonable time. But either way, we can't have these scenarios where we got thousands of people on campus at all hours of the night. A few years ago, when we did have an incident at Bowie State, when did it take place? About 11:45 p.m. This situation at Tuskegee, when was this? 1:30 in the morning. And I've given this message to young people several times before. You cannot necessarily be hanging out all hours of the night anymore. See, in my day, we could do that because for the most part, the worst thing you had to worry about was getting a pumpkin head. You mess around and get stomped out by 5-6 people. It gets pretty bad for you. For the most part, that was the worst thing that would happen, right? I don't want to make it seem like there were no guns, but for the most part, that just wasn't going down like that. In my day, and I hate to say this, but it's true, in my day, when there was a scuffle or an altercation, we all ran to the confrontation because we wanted to watch. Because for the most part, there were no guns involved. There was hands. Nowadays, if a confrontation breaks out, you need to be moving quickly in the opposite direction. Because not only are there guns, but getting back to the story, there's something called switches, right? And for those of you who don't know, a switch is something that takes a manual. Basically, it turns a gun into an automatic weapon, where you can fire off a bunch of bullets very quickly with one pull of the trigger, which is why these things are illegal. These things originally became illegal with the I think it was back in the day in Chicago. The old mobsters and gangsters in Chicago, they were coming out with the Tommy guns. And so at that point, the automatic guns, the machine guns, were banned because of what they were doing. And so what's going on now is people are putting switches on guns, which switches the gun into an automatic weapon, which is illegal. And so, unfortunately, at Tuskegee, when this incident took place, somebody has already confessed to having a Glock with a switch and shooting it. Now, they claim they didn't shoot anybody, but it's a crowd of people and you're shooting a Glock with a switch on it. So it's kind of like, I don't know. But either way, once again, rest in peace to Latavion Johnson. I think only 18 years old. The story is he pushed a young woman out the way so that she wouldn't be hit. So he really was heroic and selfless, and he lost his life for it. But we got to do a lot better job at campus safety. We got to do a lot better job of understanding the situation and when it's time to go home and get away from a certain area. And we really got to do a better job of conflict resolution. Because I can almost guarantee you, whatever the situation was, it did not warrant somebody pulling out a gun and shooting off all those shots. But rest in peace to the young brother, a speedy recovery to everybody else that was injured, because I think 16 other people were also injured. And just prayers up for Tuskegee University. And we really got to get a handle on our homecomings going forward.